Assalamu alaikum. Shukran so much for speaking to us today on ITV. Your thoughts on today's event festival?
Wow, the event is a dream come true for me. It was the first event of its kind in this area. There's been no book that come out of this area, and so everyone knows about it. There's a lot of other events that has also been planned in this area. There's the Palestinian support group, many other events, but as you can see, it turned out quite successfully. The speakers, they really gave value to the event, and I expected it, the people to be passionate when speaking about the area, and especially Sheikh Yusuf, that has been the biggest contributor in this area. So yeah, the event itself went down in classical Zandvliet style.
One of the things that Cape Townians are very, very proud of, especially Cape Muslims, is our heritage and our history and the amount of work that has gone into documenting that history.
Yeah.
I've spoken to quite a few people that attended your event today, and everyone is saying that this is one of the this work can actually stand on its own, and it will actually have quite an impact on the legacy of the area as well.
Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted you to talk us through is how did this book come about?
A lot of people has been asking me that, and I'm still trying to find the true answer. But I think it started, it came about when I started asking questions to my father about my family tree and my heritage. And when he told me you must go read it in the books, and I said, but there's no books available that detail anything about this area. Sunflower, it didn't hit me. Nothing has been written on this area. Why not? I still don't know why not. But one of my uncles at the event, he says that their generation were tradesmen, artisans and those things. They weren't book writers. They worked very hard to give people like me, our generation, a good education. So alhamdulillah, we have a good education, so it is expected of us to start writing about this area and about the history of the people of this area. And yeah, that is how it came about. I did research about Sheikh Yusuf and about my descendant Faizal Darries. Not much is written about it. About Sheikh Yusuf, there's been a critical autobiography by Suleiman Dango, as well as some other material on the internet floating around, and you'll find it also in many other books, but they don't detail Sheikh Yusuf's life, because nobody knows. The people from this area hasn't written anything, so with much speculation, the history of this area is just stopped by Sheikh Yusuf was banished to the farm Zandvliet, and that's where it ended. So I had to do the primary research, go into the houses, ask questions, speak to people, the older people, and I realized that the older people that really has that kind of history and that information is all wafa dunya, they're all passed on already. So I had to make do with what I can. Whatever narrations has been passed down, I noted it, I recorded it, I replayed it back to the people in the community, corroborated stories. But the book doesn't center around Sheikh Yusuf. The book centers around the area and the traditions that we still have.
So let's take a look at the book. What if I open up the book now, what are some of the things that I'd be able to pick up from there?
Okay, you'll definitely be able to pick up some of the history of the area. Who are the people that actually, like the Madaikers, the free Muslims, the Orang Kayan, the people of noble descent, the influential people, and Sheikh Yusuf was the most notable one of the Orang Kayan. Then it goes to Faizal Darries, it goes to Simon van der Stel, the Freyers Warten. I thought that's the first part of the book, the history part of the book, just to orient the reader about the history of the place and how far it goes back to prior to 1694, we believe. Because we believe, oral narration amongst the community, that the Madaikers, which were free Muslims which arrived on our shores in 1658, they were also not prevalent in the area, but they used to frequent between this area, Stellenbosch, Zandvliet and Cape Town. So whether or not any of them is settled down, we're still not able to ascertain. But the first part of the book is the history part. The second part of the book revolves around the habitat itself, the fishing methods, what kind of wood you found in the area, how they used to make their candles, where did they found the myrtle wax bushes, many other little topics like that we don't know about, that the older people in the community, they related to me stories how they used to go and get the berries, and at what time in the year, when was the best time to go fishing, you know, things like that, how they were taught when they were small by their grandfathers. So in that way I saw that there's a story developing, and I documented. And the third section of the book consists of how our language has actually evolved with the injection of various dialects like English, Afrikaans, Malayu, all fused into one. Terminology which we still use today, like in the Cape, hoe vaar, for example. Hoe vaar means how do you do. So it's an evolution of terms influenced by the Indonesians, the Malayu, the Dutch, fused into one. So it's, I think, 6 or 7 or 8 pages of that terminology. Then the book takes a break. It starts with the Zandvliet into the 19th century and beyond, and all the eventful days which we still celebrate here, like Maulud, Rampiesnij, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, all the eventful days which we celebrate here, and all the notable ones which we think is worth keeping for posterity. We don't want to lose that culture, that we don't want to lose. It's too valuable to just let it get lost. And I've noticed this when interviewing younger people, the youth. Then you can pick up, they don't know what this term means, they don't know what you mean by if you speak like that, like you fight clubs, they don't really know. And that, I think, was worrisome to me.
I think what I enjoy is the fact that you've actually put a glossary at the back so people can actually refer to these traditional names, and you've also given modern names to it or understanding to it.
Okay, the glossary is by no means exhaustive. I know I could have included more terms, but to make the book affordable to the everyday reader, I had to trim the book from 500 pages down. I had to condense it into about 100 pages, including the cover. But yes, the glossary might help. I think in the index, the table of contents is about, if I'm not mistaken, there's 97 topics, and they cover many issues, or many topics that's prevalent among the inhabitants of Zandvliet. Yeah.
So in terms of the process that you've undertaken, obviously, to write this book, how long did it take you from research to publication?
I would say I started, my mentor has given me the instruction in June 2013. I wasn't going to publish the book this early, but I was given the opportunity by the owner of this land to have the book launch here during the Easter weekend. And it's not that I didn't do justice to the book. I couldn't really include anything new into the book because it was already to capacity. But I would say it started very innocently, and then it attracted a lot of attention, not only locally, nationally, but overseas as well, because it's an extremely significant area where Islam in South Africa is concerned, and that's why I knew I had to tread sensibly and sensitively around certain issues, because we have academics that is really interested in the area. We have the tourism organizations that is also, they want to get in here and they want to see what the area is about. What I'm doing with this book is basically opening the area up to the greater South Africa, and with the aim to use it or develop it sustainably. So the book is a small part of what I'm intending for the future of the youth of this area.
Finally, do you have any, can you maybe talk us around some of the challenges that you maybe faced as, putting this book through publication process?
Okay.
And also, what sort of words of encouragement do you have for any other historians or writers who wants to, also pick up a project such as this one?
Okay. I'm a master's degree student, so it was not natural for me to know how to dot my I's and cross my T's. But if I didn't have a degree, there are support groups, like I think Brother Ibrahim Rode, that has published a few books. He runs workshops at the State Archives, where they introduce young people or scholars to do research, the process, the research methodology process, and all of those things. But I would urge the youth to not be afraid to put pen to paper. If you want to write, the best way to start is to start writing. It doesn't really matter what you write, but write because you won't remember what you just thought. So write it down. In a month's time, you can go over it, you can simplify it, you can flesh it out, you can do whatever to what you've written down. But it's very important to write down ideas and concepts and things, because that after a year or 2 or 3, you'll be amazed as to how much content you have. The publishing process, I've decided to publish my own work, for the mere fact that I have 100% of the profit, which I'm going to pump back into this place. If you decide on publishing through a publisher, I think they give you a rate of about 17% on what they sell, or it could be less, and that was a deterrent factor to let somebody else publish something as important as this. So I would really recommend, and I would also encourage the youth to publish their own work.
Finally, how can viewers from ITV get a copy of this book? Where is it available, and what's the selling price?
Okay, at the moment I have an e-book. It's available. It's supposed to be on my website, but the website is not up and running today yet. It was supposed to be up and running, but hopefully by Monday evening, inshallah, if I get hold of the developer. He's probably also on the Easter weekend. Besides the e-book that you can download, you can also buy my book in Timbuktu Books in Claremont. It's they're the leading sellers of Islamic material in the Cape. And other than that, I think my email address is in the book. It's reflected in the book. So drop me an email, and I'll respond. I'll sell you a signed copy if you email me.
Just give us also finally the website address.
Okay.
So once it's online on Monday evening, then people can always log on and just
okay. The website address is www.faizaldarries.co.za. So that is FAIZALDARRIES.co.za. Alhamdulillah.
Finally, do you have any closing comments or statements that you'd like to make to the viewers of ITV to encourage them around, preserving their own legacy?
Okay. I've been to Middelburg in March, and I was at the cause with Mirza Jawar Beg, and I asked him some information and also encouragement as to, he's been through the mill already, he's written books. He stands out from the crowd when it comes to research and practicing what he preaches. And I asked him, Sheikh Jawar, your thoughts on what I'm planning to do? And he says, remember, we will not be asked, what did you see? We will be asked, what did you do? And that's all I've got to say. Alhamdulillah.
Shukran so much for your time.
Alhamdulillah.
Everything of the best to you and your family.
Shukran.
All your future endeavors, inshallah.
It's been an honor, first of all, being on TV, on ITV, just as it was an honor being on ITV in 2013 for the Heritage Day special. I'm available anytime for whether it's radio, TV. I'm trying to promote heritage in this area. So whatever coverage, I appreciate it. Alhamdulillah.
Thanks so much for your time, sir.
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.